Do you ever think there's somebody in the past you'd like to have met? Well, I've got one. He's a Roman. Well, he's a Roman citizen, although he's a Greek. And his name was Arrian. He lived in the 2nd century AD. And he was a friend of the Emperor Hadrian. He was at one time a Roman governor. And he was a pretty hard character. In fact, they all had to be, didn't they? Slavery was just the order of the day. There was the arena, they killed wild animals, they tortured Christians, crucifixion was a common form of punishment. The whole thing was just brutal. And when you come across somebody who shows some signs of humanity, well, I don't know if it's humanity or not, but anyway, I'm going to tell you about him. He was keen on dogs. He was a courser. He ran dogs against wild animals, particularly the hare. And he tells us in the book he wrote that until the Romans conquered Gaul, they did not know that dogs could catch hares. There was a Greek, Xenophon, writing in the 3rd century BC, had said that it was only by accident if they caught a hare, or they could chase them into nets or things like that. But when they conquered Gaul, they found the greyhound. And the greyhound could in fact catch hares. And Arrian tells us about them. He's got one. He's got more than one. But I'll read you this passage. For I myself have bred up a hound whose eyes are the greyest of grey. Now some of them do have grey eyes. A swift, hard-working, courageous, sound-footed dog. And in his prime a match at any time for 4 hares. Wow. He is moreover, for while I am writing, he is still alive, most gentle and kindly affectioned, and never before had any dog such a regard for myself and my friend and fellow sportsman McGillis. When not actually engaged in coursing, he is never away from one or the other of us. But while I am at home, he remains within, at my side, and accompanies me going abroad and follows me to the gymnasium. And while I am taking exercise, he sits down by me. On my return he runs before me, looking back to see whether I have turned anywhere out of the road, and as soon as he catches sight of me he shows symptoms of joy, and again trotting on before me. While I am going out on government business, he remains behind with my friend, and does exactly the same towards him. And he goes on further in the thing, that there is nothing like a soft warm bed for greyhounds, but it is best for them to sleep with men, as they become thereby affectionately attached, pleased with the contact of the human body, and as fond of their bedfellow as of their feeder, person who feeds them. If any ailing affect the dog, the man will perceive it, and will relieve him in the night when thirsty, or if urged by any call of nature. He will also know how the dog has rested. For if he has passed a sleepless night, or groaned frequently in his sleep, or thrown up any of his food on the bed, it will not be safe to take him coursing. All these things the dog's bedfellow will be well acquainted with. Now I can tell you, from personal experience, and from talking to a lot of other greyhound owners, that greyhounds do sleep on beds. Amazing, isn't it? I'm not absolutely certain that there isn't on one occasion where the dog is actually sleeping in the bed. It's not me. It's not me. But anyway, it's sort of nice to see that Arrian in the 2nd century AD was a dog lover. He treated the dog just as we would treat them now. He was obviously kind to it, and the dog obviously liked him. So there you are. I could tell you a lot more about Arrian, but it's going to take long enough to load up this one. Bye-bye.